Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. So today we're doing things a little bit different. You'll notice in the bottom right hand corner of your screen is my little face. So don't be scared, okay guys. I just wanted to show you the sort of, the face behind Chart Nerd. I kind of decided to, I was about to say reveal myself, but I've said that to a few people and they haven't taken it very well. So I kind of, on Twitter the other day, announced who I was, and people started to have a little bit of a look into, me as a human behind all of these accounts. And so just a quick introduction to myself. My name is Chade. I study charts for a living. I love crypto, VELO especially, as a lot of you probably have noticed from the amount of content that I release on it. But I do love other projects too. I'm in this space. I study TA day in, day out religiously, and I just love sharing content with you guys. So if you're a new or returning viewer, welcome to the channel. Thank you for your ongoing support. It really means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoy the content. Now, diving into VELO here on the weekly time frame. So we did have, back in our local highs, all-time highs, we had this sort of double top back in 2021, and we created this multi-year descending level of resistance. Now, something very interesting has happened in the past few weeks back here, which I'm going to get into in a second. But what we're going to look at is where this level of resistance started and how often we've hit it since. So it's a very strong point of resistance. It was formed back in, if I get this off, I think it was back in September of 2021. So actually it was March of 2021. We came back for a low. We rallied back in September of 2021 back into this descending level of resistance and created another contact point. So this is a second point of contact on this trend line. Let's keep that in mind, guys. And then we actually came for a third retest as of recent. So it took a couple of years before we actually managed to get back to this descending resistance level in May of 2024. So we actually had a third point of contact in May of this year. Now, it was no surprise then at this point that we actually saw a level of resistance at these 0.028 highs, and there was other areas and indicators pointing towards this being a local top. And what happened was we pulled back to a key level of ascending support, which I will get on for us right now. So from these lows right here, we actually came back down to retest. You see we was climbing up this trend line, slowly climbing up the stairs. We had this impulsive breakout, and then we had a back test to ascending support. We had this double bottom formation, and now we've gone for the break. Now what you'll notice is on this multi-year descending resistance that we've been under since 2021, as of recent in this year, this weekly candle here on the 2nd of September 2024, we actually broke out of this multi-year descending resistance. And right now, if we zoom in just a little bit, you'll notice we're actually holding above this key resistance level. So if we can hold this and turn this into support, I think we're showing very sort of bullish signs here, guys. Very bullish signs. We've broken out of this multi-year descending resistance, and I think it just gives some sort of confluence to, in my previous videos where we've got this wave 1, we've had a wave 2 correction, you've had this impulsive wave 3 right now, which is our 0.02 high, and right now we're just getting this complex wave 4, which could lead us to float back on this previous descending resistance to support before we get the continuation. So I think the lowest that this wave 4 really comes back down to is around 0.011 to 10, and I've been screaming this for a very long time, and certain things that are giving this away, just a couple of points or indicators. I think you might have lost some lighting on my video there on my face because my light's just fallen down, but I think if we look for this sort of retracement from our local high back down to these 0.007 lows, you've got the 0.50, which is the golden ratio, which sits at 0.011. And this price tag would still, if we did come to it, would validate that we are still above that macro descending resistance level, and it would confirm this A, B, C back down to a key level of support before continuation of the trend. So right now, that is what I'm looking for on the macro, and until we start losing key levels of support, it's very important to realize, guys, we are still above key EMAs. Remember, I always tell you the 20 and the 55. If you are above those EMAs on the larger time frames, my friends, you are in an uptrend. If you lose those EMAs and start hitting your heads, that is where we enter a downtrend. So right now for VELO, you will be able to tell, if I zoom in a little bit here, I've spoken about the weekly cross that I've been watching to form for quite a long while, and I always say that it's the first bullish cross in VELO's history if it is to form, and it's just straight fact. It is. We've never put in one before. We've had this ridiculous downtrend, and we've started this really nice recovery. In multiple videos, I also talk about how we have macro higher low structure, because you've got the all-time low, you've got a high, you've got another macro sort of triple bottom low down here that we had before we came up and put in a new higher high. Now we've got another macro bottom. Right now we don't have a higher high, we have a lower high admittedly, but as I said, we're still in this bullish structure and we're still above these weekly EMAs. We are above the weekly 20 and 55, be it by a thread, be it by a thumbnail, be it by a knife edge, whatever it may be, we are still closing above these EMAs. So as long as we remain above them, there is still the potential that this cross does form. We are right in the apex. It does look very fearful, but I think this is just a macro A, B, C correction, and we could have a fake out and this could wick down a little bit lower, guys, but I think the bottom is around 0.011 to 0.010, and it's just back testing this previous double bottom that hasn't been back tested on the weekly for support before continuing the trend. It's just a complex wave 4 correction, and until we start losing these EMAs, until we start losing the neckline of this 0.011 double bottom, I can't be bearish. If it does come and we do start pulling back further, guys, and we do come back lower than this 0.011 that we've been analyzing, so if I just get a neckline of support there, if it does come back down any deeper than 0.011, okay, then we can reanalyze. But right now we do have this structure where we're coming back for a key level of support before continuation. Okay, but if we do, as I said, if we do lose it and hit our heads on it, then we reevaluate, because potentially, I don't think this is the case, but to cover all scenarios, my friends, we have to look at these sort of key levels of support and an area that VELO could come back down to if it does pull back further, if we do come back to retest these sort of 0.007 lows, because it's a possibility. This is cryptocurrency. As much as we sit here and we try to analyze where this price might be going, it could go any way. So for that reason, we're going to look at potential plays here. So for me, I think what I was looking at if we was to lose our 0.011 is the fact that VELO did run up, I think it was just above its 0618. So let me get the 0618. We did initially run up above the 0618 at 16.9, but we have also hit our heads on it in the past couple of weeks and have come back down. So we could have had, hear me out, I'm not saying this is the case, but this could have been a large A wave. This is a B dead cat bounce into the 0618 golden ratio, and right now we could be forming the C coming back down to this multi-year ascending support. So if you look at this ascending support line, we've actually come back down to this trend line multiple times. So if we do see VELO lose 0.011 on this double bottom neckline resistance that we're now looking for support, if it fails to hold that, then we could be in a larger correction, and potentially, I think the lowest we come back to here is a double bottom on this 0.007, a triple bottom. In fact, I think this level would hold as support. I don't think VELO is going any lower than that. I really don't, because you've got this ascending support line right here, as I said, that could come into fruition if we do see any sort of, this is a dead cat B wave into a C, and then what you've got is a flat ABC correction, because you've got an a B wave, which is a lower high than the A wave, and then you've got your C wave, which is symmetrical to the B wave bottom. This is called an ABC flat correction, which would bring us back down to this macro ascending support. But right now that has not happened. We are still above EMAs, we are still above the 0.011 neckline, and we need to hold that as support to confirm this is just a complex ABC before continuation back up to 0.028 highs. So that's it from me today, guys. It's not too much has been going on for the past few days. I will allow the chart to sort of breathe for a bit, and when it does catch up or anything out of the blue happens, I will update you. You have your support targets at 0.011 if we lose the 1-3 range that we've been holding. And just to confirm, if we are to remain bullish here and do start picking up, we need to see 0.016 tackled in order. So these previous highs here, we need to get back above them in order to see any retracement to back towards the 0.20s. Okay, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed the content from Chart Nerd TA. Take care. Peace out.